The reason why onboarding is such a key issue for high-performing teams is that high-performing team players don't last long. They're in high demand. They're seen as the best of the best, and so ultimately companies start to see them around in other organizations. The shelf life for a high-performing team might be 12 or 18 months at best before people start to turn over. So unless you've really created some type of accommodation for when people leave, it's going to be a very difficult road to be able to sustain a lot of the gains. I mean, there's an old adage which says that a team of horses is only as quick as the slowest horse. So just like with high-performing teams, the key challenges that high-performing teams face is when you bring on new players, how do you very rapidly accelerate them so that they can add value, rather than waiting weeks or months until they finally feel comfortable enough with the relationships to be able to contribute to the conversation. So a high-performing team, because it's predicated on people being open, being transparent, demonstrating a lot of candor, really presupposes that the players on that team are willing to go there regardless of how long they've been on the team. So given that, the best onboarding practices would be that prior to someone coming onto the team itself, or I should say, let's say coming to the meetings, it would be prudent for the leader to ensure that that individual already had one-on-one conversations with everyone to get a sense of their expectations of them and vice versa, that any data from past alignments would be shared so they had a history of from whence the team had come, and to get a very good feel around what are the ground rules. In other words, what does it mean to be a player on that team? So they already feel more comfortable to be able to have those conversations. So all of that work should ideally occur prior to the first time they were in a meeting. When I think about an example of a top team that really models onboarding very, very well, I'm thinking about this team that in the interview process, not only do they ask questions regarding someone's technical prowess or their leadership prowess, they already are very, very clear regarding the aspects of a high-performing team and the expectations of someone coming in to be able to play in a pure, accountable game. Then what they'll do when they're interviewing is they'll make sure that people really divvy up those aspects of high-performance attributes to really drill down and make sure that that person embodies those. Then finally, at that point, once that person is selected, as I said earlier, what they end up doing is then giving people a sense of the data from the past, making sure that that individual knows the ground rules of the team, and then finally has already had one-on-ones with the various players so that by the time they come to the live action meetings, that they're already in a place to contribute and know that it's safe. So again, onboarding is essential because teams don't last forever.